नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। आई एम जीवन डॉक्टर मीनाक्षी, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर इन डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ शलाक्य तंत्र, फैकल्टी ऑफ आयुर्वेदिc science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Today we will discuss the nasal polyp part 2. In earlier we have discussed the bilateral caudal polyp. Now I will discuss the antroconal polyp. So, what is antroconal polyp? It is also known as the Killian's polyp. This polyp arises from the mucosa of maxillary antrum near its accessory ostium, comes out of it, and grows in the choana and nasal cavity. Thus, it has three parts: antral, choanal, and nasal part. The antral part, which is a thin stalk, the choanal, which is round and globular, nasal, which is flat from side to side. What is the etiology of antroconal polyp? The exact cause is unknown. Nasal allergy coupled with the sinus infection is incriminated. Adrenocorneal polyp are seen in children and young adults. Usually they are single and unilateral. What are the symptoms of antroconal polyp? Unilateral nasal obstruction is the presenting symptom. Obstruction may become bilateral when polyp grows into the nasopharynx and starts obstructing the opposite choana. Voice may become thick and dull due to hyponasality. Nasal discharge, mostly mucoid, may be seen on one or both sides. Here are the common causes of the unilateral nasal obstruction and the common causes of the bilateral nasal obstruction. Okay. The signs of antroconal polyp. As the antroconal polyp grows posteriorly, it may be missed on anterior rhinoscopy. When large, a smooth grayish mass covered with nasal discharge may be seen. It is soft and can be moved up and down with a probe. A large polyp may protrude from the nostril and show a pink congested look on its exposed part. Then common causes of unilateral nasal obstruction are in vestibule there may be a furuncle, vestibulitis, stenosis of nares, atresia, nasoalveolar cyst, papilloma, squamous cell carcinoma. In nasal cavity there may be a foreign body or deviated nasal septum, hypertrophic turbinates, concha bullosa, antroconal polyp, synecdoche, rhinolith, bleeding polypus of septum, benign and malignant tumors of nose and paranasal sinuses, sinusitis unilateral. In nasopharynx, they can be unilateral choanal atresia. What are the common causes of bilateral nasal obstruction? In vestibule, there may be bilateral vestibulitis, collapsing nasal alae, stenosis of nares, congenital atresia of nares. In nasal cavity, there may be acute rhinitis, which may be viral and bacterial. There can be chronic rhinitis and sinusitis. There may be rhinitis medicamentosa, allergic rhinitis, or hypertrophic turbinates, or DNS, or nasal polyp, or atrophic rhinitis, or rhinitis sicca, or septal hematoma, or septal abscess, or bilateral choanal atresia. In nasopharynx, there may be adenoid hyperplasia, large choanal polyp, Thornwell cyst, adhesions between soft palate and posterior pharyngeal wall, large benign and malignant tumors. Here is an image of an antroconal polyp projecting through the left nostril in a 14-year-old patient. Here is an image of the antroconal polyp seen hanging in the oropharynx from behind the soft palate on the right side of the uvula. And on the right side, there is an image of polyp after removal. The posterior rhinoscopy may reveal a globular mass filling the choana or the nasopharynx. A large polyp may hang down behind the soft palate and present in the oropharynx. Examination of the nose with an endoscope may reveal a choanal or antrochoanal polyp hidden posteriorly in the nasal cavity. Then differential diagnosis. A blob of mucus often looks like a polypus, but it would disappear on blowing the nose. A hypertrophied middle turbinate is differentiated by its pink appearance and hard feel of bone on probe testing. Angiofibroma has history of profuse recurrent epistaxis. It is firm in consistency as easily bleeds on probing. Other neoplasms may be differentiated by their flashy pink appearance, fragile nature, and their tendency to bleed. Here is an image of the endoscopic view of a choanal polyp or right side. Then the differences between the antrochoanal and ethmoidal polyp. The antrochoanal polyp is common in children, whereas the ethmoidal polyp is common in adults. Antrochoanal polyp is caused by infection, whereas the ethmoidal polyp is caused by allergy or maybe multifactorial. Antrochoanal polyp is solitary, whereas the ethmoidal polyp is multiple. Antrochoanal polyp is unilateral, whereas ethmoidal polyp is bilateral. The origin of ethmoidal polyp is a maxillary sinus near the ostium, whereas the origin of ethmoidal polyp is ethmoidal sinuses, uncinate process, middle turbinate, and middle meatus. The growth of the antrochoanal polyp grows backwards to the choana, may hang down behind the soft palate. The ethmoidal polyp mostly grow anteriorly and may present at the nares. The antrochoanal polyp is trilobed with antral, nasal, and choanal parts, and the choanal part may protrude through the choana and fill the nasopharynx, obstructing both sides. The ethmoidal polyp is usually small and grape-like masses. The antrochoanal polyp recurrence is very uncommon if removed completely, whereas in case of ethmoidal polyp, the recurrence is common. In the antrochoanal polyp, the treatment is polypectomy, endoscopic removal, or Calver-Luke operation if recurrent. The treatment of ethmoidal polyp is polypectomy, endoscopic surgery, or ethmoidectomy, which may be intranasal, extranasal, or transnasal. The X-rays of paranasal sinuses may show opacity of the involved antrum. X-ray lateral view soft tissue nasopharynx reveals a globular swelling in the postnasal space. It is differentiated from the angiofibroma by the presence of a column of air behind the polyp. Then the treatment antrochoanal polyp is easily removed by avulsion, either through the nasal or oral route. Recurrence is uncommon after complete removal in cases which do occur. Calver-Luke operation may be required to remove the polyp completely from the site of its origin and to deal with coexistent maxillary sinusitis. These days, endoscopic sinus surgery has superseded other modes of polyp removal. Calver-Luke operation is avoided. Some important points to remember in a case of nasal polyp is if a polypus is red and fleshy, fragile, and has a granular surface, especially in older patients, think of malignancy. Simple nasal polyp may masquerade a malignancy underneath. Hence, all polyps should be subjected to histology. A simple polyp in a child may be a glioma or an encephalocele or meningoencephalocele. It should always be aspirated and fluid examined for CSF. Careless removal of such polyp will result in CSF rhinorrhea or meningitis. Multiple nasal polyp in children may be associated with mucoviscidosis. Epistaxis and orbital symptoms associated with a polyp should always arouse the suspicion of malignancy. So here completes our session of nasal polyp. Thank you so much. This session is powered by digital version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comments box. I will resolve it. Thank you so much.
Namaste students, हमेशा खुश रहो बेटिया. I am JVM Dr. Minakshi, Assistant Professor in Department of Shalakya Tantra, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Today in this session we will discuss the Karn Rog. Okay? We will discuss the chapter which treats of the cause and symptoms of the disease peculiar to the ear, that is the organ of hearing. It is known as the Karnagat Rog Vigyaniya. First, we'll discuss the classification of Karn Rog. So, 28 different forms of ear diseases are noticed in practice. The Kernshul, earache, pranad, ringing or noise in the ear, badhirya, deafness, shade, Karnsrav, discharge of pus, etc. from the ear, Karnkandu, itching in the ear, Karnkooth, creamy Karn, vermin infested ears, Pratinah, the two kinds of Vitriti, local abscess, Karn Pak, secretion of ear, Toothy Karn, fetor in the ear, four kinds of Arshas, cyst or polyps in the ear, 7 kinds of arbuth tumor, and 4 kinds of shof, that is swelling. Then comes the symptoms of Kanshul and Pranad. The violent aching pain in the region of the ear and inside the tympanum caused by the deranged local vayu, aggravated and obstructed by the other deranged doshas in the locality is called the Kanshul or earache. Ringing and various other sounds in the ear are heard when the deranged vayu of the locality gets into the wrong way and remains there stuck in the sound carrying channels of the organ. This disease is called the pranal. Then the symptoms of Vadhirya and Shwed. Vadhirya deafness results from the continuance in the sound carrying channels of the deranged local vayu in combination with the deranged local cough in those localities without any way being remedied or subdued. An attack of Kanshwed expressing a peculiar sound in the ear may be attributed to such causes so as to the use of any cold thing or exposure to cold after being treated with a head purging remedy or to the continuance of the deranged local vayu in the sound passage aggravated by excessive labor by any wasting process in the system or by taking articles of fear of astringent taste or of parching or Ruksh property. Then the symptoms of Karnasrav and Karnkandu. Regarding Karnasrav, any discharge or secretion of pus from the ear caused by the deranged bodily vayu stuffing the ear cavity, owing to a blow on the head, or a long immersion in water, or a spontaneous suppression and bursting of an abscess in the inner ear is called Karnasrav. What is Karnkandu? The excessive itching sensation in the ear due to the aggravation of local cough is called Karnkandu. The symptoms of Karnbhut and Karnpratinaha. Any mucus accumulation in the ear dried and hardened by the heat of the local pith is called Karnbhut. When the dried accumulation of the ear in cases of Karnbhut becomes liquefied and comes out through the cavity of the nose and produces head disease, it is called Karnpratinaha. Next Karn is creamy Karn. Germination of vermins or of other local parasites in the cavities of the ear completely impairs the faculty of hearing and is called creamycorn from the existence of worms in the ear. And any abscess caused by any local ulcer or by a blow, as well as by any idiopathic abscess in the cavity of the ear, is known as Karnvitriti. It is marked by a chalked and burning sensation and piercing and sucking pain, and it secretes red, yellow, reddish, bloody discharges. Next disease is Karnpak, a process of suppression setting in any of these valves in the ear through the aggravated condition of the deranged pith is marked by a blocked and putrid condition of the passage of the ear. The disease is called Karnpak or the suppression of the ear. Next disease is Putikarn, a discharge of condensed and fetid pus, whether accompanied or not with pain, is set up by the local mucus accumulation in the passage of the ear, having been liquefied by the heat of the aggravated pith. This disease is called Putikarn or pus in the ear. The symptoms of swelling, show, tumors, arbut, and polypoid growth, ursha. in general, as has been described before, should be carefully understood by an experienced physician to be the symptoms of the diseases in the region of the ear. So here completes the session of Kern Road. Thank you so much. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapit Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box. I will resolve it soon. Thank you so much.